what's up everyone? Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different though. I'm not going to be doing a reaction. I'm not going to be doing a review. In fact, I'm going to be talking about something that's very timely. I'm going to be talking about coronavirus and its effects on the film industry. Now, two things. One, this video is not going to be about the coronavirus itself. Okay, I'm not going to be talking about the symptoms or the numbers of infections and anything like that. I'm not going to be talking about people panicking and buying toilet paper. That's not what this video is going to be about. This video is going to just strictly be about what effects coronavirus and its fears are having on the film industry as a whole. Okay, so that's the first thing. And number two, I'm also going to discuss what I plan to do with this channel in regards to, the recent developments and updates that I'm about to talk about. Okay, so let's get into it. So as you've probably been aware, coronavirus has been declared a pandemic. A number of countries are dealing with it, and those concerns and fears have had ripple effects, hitting a number of industries, particularly in terms of this video, the film industry. And it's been a very interesting week for the film industry, I have to say. A number of studios, including Disney, announced a number of delays for their films. So earlier this week, Disney announced that Mulan was being postponed, which was a huge movie for them. So for them to move that release back was very, very tough, I imagine, for them. Because a lot of money was spent there. They also announced the delay of The New Mutants, and that was a movie that was made under Fox, but that movie can't catch a break because it's been delayed I don't know how many times now, I think twice, at least twice. Universal announced that Fast and Furious 9 would be moving to 2021. Paramount delayed the release of A Quiet Place Part 2, and previously MGM had announced that the new James Bond movie, No Time to Die, was also going to be moved back. So some of those films have new release dates and some don't, and I imagine that the studios are trying to figure out when the best time would be to release those movies, but this is going to have huge impacts on the box office numbers. And a lot of these studios are going to be taking a huge financial loss because of this. Black Widow, as of now, by the time I post this video, it'll probably change. But as of now, Black Widow is still set to come out May 1st. Disney hasn't changed the date for that yet. I imagine that could change. I'd be surprised if it didn't, just given the circumstances. So here's the thing. I totally understand why the movie studios decided to delay and or postpone the releases of their big movies. It makes sense. Here in the United States, the president declared a national emergency because of coronavirus. Prior to that, a lot of states, especially states that had the most number of cases, had their governors and elected officials had said, let's not have large gatherings. A lot of events were canceled. So there's this fear of not being in public places around a lot of people, especially in small spaces, because you don't want to have the spread. And so I imagine a lot of people are afraid to go to the movies right now because, especially on a busy Friday, Saturday, weekend night, there's a lot of people in the theaters and you're sitting right next to each other. There's a lot of, shared spaces, the seats, the counters, all that kind of stuff. And that could easily lead to the spread of the virus. So a lot of people are afraid to go to the movie theaters. And I imagine that studios are looking at tracking. They're also looking at what's happening in the news, and they're looking at what people are saying online, and they're like, do we release these movies when most people are literally not going to go out to watch them? And if it's a big budget movie like Mulan, you don't want to put it out there, and you spend a lot of money on it. You don't want to put it out there and then you get dismal box office returns, which is probably what was going to happen with Mulan. Releasing it this month was not going to do good for, it wasn't going to do well in terms of the box office. It's tough from a business standpoint, but it makes sense. The other update that came out this week was that AMC, Regal, and a bunch of other large movie theater chains were making adjustments to their ticket policies and things like that. So AMC announced that it was going to be reducing seat capacity at all of its theaters nationwide in response to the coronavirus. And so basically every single auditorium at an AMC theater all across the US would have 50% less seating capacity than it normally would. And then large theaters that can hold 500 people or more, AMC was just going to cap it at 250 regardless. And then they were also implementing this thing of like social distancing where they like want people to keep like rows between them or seats between them and the other people, just to kind of keep people from being close to each other. So, you know, regardless of whether or not you think, you know, people are overreacting to coronavirus or anything like that, the fact remains that there is fear out there and people are taking precautions, and the movie theaters and the film studios are doing the same, and they kind of have to because given the circumstances. This means that the film industry as of now, with major films being postponed, studios have also halted production on some of their movies because again they don't want to have actors and crew and everybody close quarters, tight spaces kind of thing. That being movie productions being halted, with movie theaters reducing seat capacity, and you know, China is a huge player in the global film market. Their movie theaters were closed, you know, so no movies are being shown there. This is going to mean a lot of money lost. And I think I saw somewhere where it's estimated right now that it's going to cost at least $5 billion. It's going to be a loss of at least $5 billion. That could go up because, again, we don't know. All of the theaters here so far are staying open. They're just reducing seat capacity, but they could decide to close. More movies could be postponed or delayed, which I think could happen. It's going to be really interesting to see what the studios and all the other companies do. Where are the studios going to move their big releases? Are they going to put them? Are they all going to dump them in the fall? Will they be able to move some of them to the summer? I don't even know. I mean, there are a couple big releases for the summer, like Wonder Woman, but I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head the other big releases. So maybe, you know, some of these studios could shift it to the summer. Maybe they're going to put them in the fall, but I don't know if a lot of them want to put them in the fall because the fall is sort of that slower period, you know, and it's also, you're getting into like award season territory. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens and what they do. Another thing that people aren't talking a lot about, you know, a lot of people are mentioning the studios postponing movies. They're talking about theaters reducing seat capacity and movie production being halted, TV production being halted. But one of the things we're not talking about is film festivals. Quite a few film festivals have been either canceled or postponed because of coronavirus. South by Southwest was one of the first to do it, and that was a huge blow to filmmakers because, you know, South by Southwest was one of the venues for filmmakers to showcase their films and to pick up, you know, deals. And now their films are not going to be shown. Tribeca Film Festival announced that it was postponing the festival as well. And again, that's another huge venue for filmmakers to showcase their work, and that's not going to happen either. So there are a lot of moving pieces here with this. Again, a lot of industries are being impacted. Travel industry, tourism industry, but I'm mostly focusing on film, and as someone who watches a lot of movies, I mean, I have a whole channel dedicated to watching movies and reacting to trailers and doing reviews. It's really interesting to see all of this happen. So that brings me to what I plan to do with this channel. As of right now, I am still going to do reviews and reactions. I'm still going to do movie reviews. I'm still going to do trailer reactions. But A lot of the movies that I was planning to do reviews on will not be coming out until some undetermined time. So I'm thinking of a couple of things. One, any movie that comes out in the next couple of months, even if it's not a huge release, I'll try to watch it and do a review on it. Two, I'm also thinking about possibly doing reviews on Netflix movies and Amazon Prime movies, like originals that came out that I might have missed in the last couple of years. And I'm also thinking about maybe doing something along the lines of like a retro review where I will find a movie from like early 2000 on up that I might have missed, that I haven't seen and or haven't reviewed, watch it and do a review. So that's kind of where I'm thinking, that's kind of where I am right now. Let me know what you guys think. What would you like to see? Would you like to see me do retro reviews? Would you like me to just kind of keep doing what I've been doing with movie reviews and trailer reactions? If there are movies that you want me to review, like for the retro review, leave those movie titles in the comment section below. Because like I said, I'll be taking suggestions. I'm just kind of rolling with the punches. And of course, once Disney and the studios decide where they're going to put these movies, I will, of course, watch Mulan and do a review of Mulan. But anyway, so that's kind of where I am right now. Yeah, so anyway, those are my thoughts on coronavirus and the film industry. It's going to be very interesting to watch. So let me know what you think about the studios, postponing movies and movie theaters reducing seat capacity and all that stuff, all these ripple effects from the coronavirus concerns. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And then while you're here, please like this video and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.